Greetings and welcome back to Big Bacon's Collection. Today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends X-Men Cinematic. I don't know how to describe it because it's kind of a culmination of both the original X-Men series and the newer First Class style series, Magneto and Professor X. So as always, we're going to look at the packaging, we're going to bust it open, look at the accessories, look at the figures, gear them up, scratch out, reverse, check the articulation, gear them up, and get them up on the shelf. So, top of the package, we've got, in silver, Marvel Legends with the big X-Men X on it. This side, an artistic recreation of Magneto, Marvel Legends. This side, Marvel Legends, artistic Professor X. Up here at the top of the box, warning, don't choke. Marvel Legends, 14 plus. Plastic. X-Men logo, Magneto, Professor X, Hasbro. Down here, an ass load of stupid script. Back here, very little stupid script. But then we get the enlarged art of both of the figures. So, as you saw on the front of the box there, this has already been opened. So, we're just going to reopen it where they opened it and pull them out. Unfortunately, there is one thing missing. Oh, yeah. Well, we're giving you more recyclable plastic with the new window boxes. Bullshit. There's the recycling emblem right there. Unfortunately, with this having already been opened, somebody else had the joy of throwing away the stupid script. So there we have the plastic prison. What do you say we bust out all the hands and heads, bust out the wheelchair, put it together, we'll look at them, and then we'll look at the actual figures. You know, I'm even going to reverse my own, what I just said. I actually had a version of this at one time, but it was missing 80% of the stuff. It was just young Magneto head, young Xavier head. That was it. Oh, and the wheelchair, obviously, because you can't have Professor X without a wheelchair. Unless you're going first class, and this is definitely not first class. In fact, this isn't even that generation worth. So yes, what I'm going to do, I'm going to focus on one figure at a time. So, let's start with Professor Xavier, shall we? So the wheelchair comes disassembled. You just kind of run the rod in between here, in there, in there, line them back up, get everything pushed back together. Yeah, so the back attaches with these C channels here. There are pegs on the side of the metal that go into the seat. You then have this crossbar that plugs in here, and this axle that runs across. Then you just kind of line up the wheels with the hexagons in there, making sure the handhold parts are facing out, and you lock it in. And actually there is no hexagon shape inside the wheel. It just kind of friction holds. So you've got this lovely, cheap looking silver wheelchair. It looks very plastic. Wheels actually look real. And they actually feel like rubber. So arm pads are not well painted. Handholds on the back are decently painted. And then the cushions themselves are injection plastic in that color. So for hands, he comes with a relaxed hand in the left here and a thinking hand on the right. He also comes with a open kind of right hand, a gripping right hand, and an open kind of left hand. I don't know how better to explain it. Heads, we've got a fairly decent looking Patrick Stewart. Sculpt is pretty much on point. Paint is well done. He is exceedingly bald, as is the character. And then we have the second head sculpt, which is the McAvoy head. This one, the sculpt doesn't seem quite as clear on who it is. But at certain angles you can clearly see it. Paint is perfectly done. And once again, nice and bold. So, now we know who this, or what this line actually is. The fact that they threw in the old guy heads, I think, was just for our benefit. So let's see, articulation-wise. Head is on a ball joint. Neck is a separate piece, but it's fixed by that collar. So looking up, you'll look up that far. Eye level. Looking down, eye level. Rotation, no tilt. Arms hinge up to less than 90. Full rotation. No butterfly joining. Bicep cup for rotation. Double jointed pinned elbow. This is a basic suited body that we've seen multiple times before. Full range on that double elbow. Hands rotate horizontal on the left, horizontal on the right. And in fact, all 5 of the hands that you get are horizontal. So the tie is a separate piece underneath here. A little bit of work and you can get it lined up a little bit better. This suit jacket is an overlay. Pockets sculpted in. Little handkerchief in there. Detail on the suit is fairly well done, except for what I hate more than anything, seeing the shirt through the sleeve. Pants color match well. Nicely creased. There is a ball joint at the waist for rotation and a little bit of front and back. Legs kick out only about that far, but if you're standing on one leg, that's 90 degrees of spread. Kick forward pretty well, and so far that you can actually see the lock code on there. Thigh cuff for rotation. Double jointed pin knee. Not all the way, but more than 90. Foot hinges back that far, forward only that far, front facing pin for rocker. So, what do you say we take a moment and we work to get him in his wheels and positioned? So the detents have given me a hard time trying to get that hand where I want it to be. See if we can get him squeezed into the seat. Get his feet up onto the footrests. And those are some not so great looking ankles, but what are you going to do about it? Oh, and we just about got it there. So there we have Professor X. Next up, now this one's going to be a little more difficult because we've got multiple versions of each version of the head. So looking at these figures, they're a little dusty, so these have been displayed on somebody's shelf for a while. Oh, what in the wide world of sports is going on here? So the cape had to go through that slot. And as you can see, that slot has been cut to hell trying to get that cape probably back in by whoever had this originally. So, Magneto. And already I see something I don't like. So, Magneto comes with 4 hands. 2 fisted hands, one for each side, and then 2 like power hands. Second power hand being virtually the same sculpt but on the other side. He then comes with a total of 4 heads. So, get an Ian McKellen head, which looks okay. I mean, it definitely looks more like Ian McKellen than it does Michael Fassbender. Hair is a separate piece, glued in pretty well. Hair has a nice color and sculpt to it. But then if that is too much for you, or isn't enough, we've got the Ian McKellen shoved into the helmet. And just to mix it up a little bit, we have an attempt at a Michael Fassbender head. Hair is not glued on there perfectly. Sculpt is pretty good. Paint is good. And if that's too much, or not enough, you've got Michael Fassbender in his Magneto helmet. So this body looks much more like the Michael Fassbender style. Now you could argue that it's the Ian McKellen Days of Futures Past body. So either way you go, I mean, it works, or it can work. And just for schmitz and giggles this time, I want to put this helmet on. Okay, now he's got a very heavyweight cape. You pop the head off. You can unpeg it from the back and take the cape off. Color, I mean, it's one color. Little bit of sculpting to it, but really there's not a whole lot to it. Seems like more of a hassle trying to get it back into place than so. we've looked at the head. The helmet is kind of nice pearlescence color. Body has, I don't know how to describe that. The plates look like they're almost metallic. All done in that reddish color. Textured undersuit, darker down here, a little bit lighter up around the shoulders. Textured sleeves, black gauntlet, armored gauntlet on the back, straps and binding on the inside. Black leather gloves. Pants appear to be black leather. Got some sculpture to them. Boots are definitively leather. See stitching line up here around the front. All in all, this is a good looking figure. So, let's check some articulation, shall we? Head is on a dumbbell. So looking up with the helmet and the cape on, you only get up that high. Looking down, get a little bit better. Got no real tilt, but good rotation. Arm hinges, nowhere. Arm hinges, nowhere. So because of the cape, you're lucky to get to 90. You can rotate it, but it's going to unpeg that cape. Double jointed pinless elbows on this guy. Comes up to 90. Bicep cuff for rotation. Hands rotate, horizontal hinging on the left, horizontal on the right. It's got a torso cut that allows for rotation. No real front, no real back. Get some tilt though. And obviously, like I said, rotation. Legs kick out. Only that far, but once again, on one leg, that's more than 90. Kicks forward, almost 90. Side cut for rotation, but it's very stiff in there. Double jointed, pinless knee. Comes up to more than 90. Let's twist the body back around. There is a boot cut for rotation. Foot hinges back really far. Forward, really good. Front facing pin for rocker. Now there are no effect pieces. There's no weaponry. There's no accessories. It's essentially just how you want to display them. So I've decided we're going to go old man for both of them. Why? Because Patrick Stewart deserves that respect. As does, well, Sir Patrick Stewart, as does Sir Ian McKellen. So there you have them. What do you say we take a moment and get them up on the shelf, shall we? Sorry about that. And there you have them. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'll see y'all next time.